My dear students, today we will head up with the topic derivatives. Till last class we have done limits, till yesterday's class limits has been done. So, we will proceed to derivatives. See, derivative is linked with the limit. If limit exists, then only you can find out the derivatives. That is, it's differentiation, right? Differentiation I have studied, I have taught you differentiation. The same derivatives is that only, finding the derivative of it. So, I have the definition. Suppose f is a real valued function and a is a point in its domain. Okay, f be a real valued function. Real valued function means it should be only real numbers. Real numbers includes what's everything, whole number, decimals, in root, in negative, except your composite numbers, everything comes under your real numbers. So, real valued function means f should have only real numbers. Okay, and a be any point, in its domain. The derivative of f at a is defined by, how it is defined, it is given like this: limit f of a plus h minus f of a whole divided by h, where your h tends to 0, provided this limit exists. As I have said, you see we had done limit existence, just yesterday's class we have done exercise part. Limit existence, how it was, LHL, RHL, and at that point if this 3 also have the same value, then we tell limit exists. So, for that particular function, if limit exists, then only you can find the derivative, and the definition for this is like this. See, derivative of f of x at a is denoted by f dash of a. This is denoted as f dash of a. So, that is how f dash of a is equal to limit f of a plus h minus f of a whole divided by h as h tends to a. This we are taking a be any point at a, okay, not at x. At x it will be same, replace a by x. Considering an example, I will show you, it will be very clear. For example, I have taken, find the derivative at x is equal to 2 of the function f of x is equal to 3x. Okay, f of x they have given, this is in a, right? If you want, you can change this. Find the derivative at a is equal to 2, f of a is equal to 3a. Take like this, because now I have shown in this now, so it will be. So, what you have, f of a is equal to 3a they have given. Find the derivative they have said, which means limit already exists for this. And how it is defined, how it is defined, f dash of a, derivative means f dash, removing the differentiation. Differentiation means finding the derivatives, right? F dash of a is nothing but limit f of a plus h minus f of a whole divided by h, as your h tends to 0. H tending to 0. So, you have to find the derivative means you have to find f dash of a they have given. A what? At a is equal to 2. So, f dash of 2. And you see here f of a they have given as 3a. F of a we have f of a plus h. F of a plus h becomes what? 3 of a plus h, right? When f of a is 3a, f of a plus h will be 3 of a plus h. So, simple. F of a plus h is nothing but 3 of a plus h minus f of a we have, that is 3a whole divided by h, as your h tends to 0. As your h tending to 0. Now, apply your limit directly. You can apply. If you want to multiply and you do separately, you can do like that also. 3a minus 3a get cancels, like that also you can do. But here see, one thing I left out, a they have given us, right? A value they have given. A is what? At a is equal to 2. So, see, I didn't substitute. 3 of 2 plus h minus 3 into 2 whole divided by h, as h tends to 0. See, division will be here, okay? Don't take for limit. It is just for the number. If you take here, it seems to be limit is applied only for numerator, not for denominator, but limit is applied for this whole part. So, your line should be up to just the number, f dash of 2. So, you can multiply. So, what you will get, limit as your h tending to 0, 3 2s are 6 plus 3h minus 3 2s are 6 whole divided by h. So, your plus 6 minus 6 get cancels off, and you are having, I will write here only, okay, limit 3h divided by h as your h tending to 0. See, now here you may get confused. H tending to 0 directly you might substitute, but please don't do like that. When you have h divided by h only, see this cancels off, h1 h1. So directly don't put here, don't substitute h as 0. If by chance you don't have like this numerator denominator same number, if you have here some another number and here you have only h, or here either of this you have, then you substitute. But you have like this, when you can cancel off, first do the cancellation. First you have to do everything, then you have to substitute the limit. Okay. So f dash of 2, you are having what? Limit 3, h1 cancels, right? H tends to 0. So now only 3 is left, h is not there. You don't have any number with h. So your value will be what? Only 3, right? Because the thing is there. So your value is 3. So therefore f dash of 2 is equal to 3. I hope I am clear how you have to do. It is very simple. No much confusion. Just you have to go solving it. Here you have to be sure. At the last you have to apply your limit. As you have done your limits, right? At the last you have to substitute your limits and then get the answer. If here also if you here you put directly h is 0 by 0, anything by 0 it is not defined, right? Anything by 0 you get as infinity. So directly we don't put it. Next is first principle derivative principle. Okay, first principle of derivative. It is nothing but the same in terms of your x. Definition is same, but in terms of x. Suppose f is a real valued function. The function is defined by how? Limit f of x plus h minus f of x by h as h tending to 0 whenever the limit exists, and it is denoted as f dash of x. So this one is called as first principle, that is f dash of x equal to limit f of x plus h minus f of x whole divided by h, where your h tending to 0. And the denotation of this, okay, there may be various like d by dx of f of x or y is equal to f of x, right, which further we tell as dy by dx, or capital D of f of x, which means derivative of f of x, derivative of f of x or y with respect to x. Capital D means you should remember that difference derivative, or you may write d by dx f of x at a or df by dx as x equal to a. Anyhow the denotation may come, so you should understand which also you can use it. It is left on you, but most of the time we prefer this, or sometimes we go this. You understand me? Please note down it. Next is algebra of derivative functions. You had for limit functions to for sum, difference, product, quotient, right? So the same in terms of your derivatives also you have algebra of derivative functions. That is theorem 5. What it tells, let f and g be two functions such that their derivatives are defined in a common domain. So in terms of sum, okay, when derivative of a function is sum, okay, derivative of sum of two functions, how it will be d by dx, f of x plus g of x, it will be separately deriving d by dx of f of x plus d by dx of g of x. You have done only, you know this is very simple. Then in terms of difference, derivative of difference of two functions, d by dx f of x minus g of x, how it will be d by dx of f of x minus d by dx of g of x separately. When you are applying the derivative, okay, differentiating, you are doing two functions. When it is addition means separately you can do it for addition and subtraction. In terms of product, see in terms of product already you have the formula, right? This we have done only, d by dx f of x and g of x is equal to what? F of x d by dx of g of x plus g of x into d by dx of f of x when it is product. Don't forget it for product. You have done this all now in your problems, differentiation problems you have done, right? If you don't remember like this, you can take in terms of uv, means your u is f of x, v is g of x. So d by dx of uv or uv whole dash. Uv whole dash means derivative of uv. So how it will be, keeping your u as it is, deriving, finding the derivative of v plus keeping your v as it is, finding the derivative of u. So, it will be how? U v dash plus v u dash. I hope I am clear. In terms of u v, you can take it. Okay, in your +2 level you learn about that differentiation, what it means and all. Differentiation means nothing, finding the derivative, and derivative how it is, f dash, you tell f dash. Okay, so f of x g of x means keeping first term as it is, deriving the second term, plus keeping second term as it is, deriving the first term. In terms of u v, you can write it like this. In terms of quotient, we can see, in terms of quotient, d by dx. Okay, in terms of quotient, derivative of quotient of two function f of x by g of x. This you should remember properly. See, g of x into d by dx of f of x, taking a denominator, keeping denominator as it is, deriving your, finding the derivative of your numerator, minus keeping your numerator as it is, f of x, finding the derivative of g of x, d by dx of g of x, whole divided by g of x the whole square, denominators square. In terms of u v, if you want to write, let u be your f of x, let v be your g of x. So, d by dx of u by v, either you can write like this or u by v the whole dash. How it will be? V into u dash minus u into v dash whole divided by v square. Okay, should remember this properly. Whenever you are using product and quotient rule, you have to apply your derivative in such form. Next is theorem 6, that is derivative of f of x equal to x raised to n is n x raised to n minus 1 for any positive integer n. So, what they are telling, f of x is equal to x raised to n, then its derivative f dash of x will be what? Nothing but n x raised to n minus 1. This means that derivative of f of x raised to n is what? N x raised to n minus 1, n x raised to n minus 1 for any positive integer n, any positive, it should be positive. Okay, even for if it is minus n means minus n x raised to minus n plus 1 it becomes. So, how we get it? We will just look it up. Proof we will do. This is actually a standard form. By definition of derivative proof, what we will do? See, f of x equal to x raised to n. So, derivative we have to show, you get as n x raised to n minus 1 only. So, we will take our definition of derivative, how it tells f dash of x equal to limit f of x plus h minus f of x whole divided by h as your h tending to 0, right. This is our definition. Now, what we have, f of x they have given as x raised to n. So, f of x plus h will be what? X plus h whole raised to n, right, x plus h whole raised to n. So, f dash of x limit f of x plus h becomes nothing but x plus h whole raised to n minus f of x is x raised to n whole divided by h as your h tending to 0. Now, see, after coming to this point, what we gonna do? Now, we don't know anything else how we have to proceed, but you have studied your binomial expansion. Yes, how binomial expansion derives when it is a plus h whole raised to n or x plus a whole raised to n. Binomial expansion, how it gives? See, x plus h whole raised to n, nc0 x raised to n plus nc1 x raised to n minus 1 h plus nc2 x raised to n minus 2 h square, so on up to ncn h raised to n. This is your binomial expansion. Okay, this topic for time being, I guess they have removed because of this pandemic, but binomial expansion means like this. This is your binomial expansion, remember it, x plus h whole raised to n. Anything raised to n means how we gonna do is combinations. Okay, combination, permutation, combinations, in combinations, right, using that nc0 x raised to n second plus nc1 x raised to, here it becomes minus one term you are reducing, n minus 1 into h, here h is your 0, h raised to 0 will be nothing, h raised to 0 is what, 1 na? So, we do not write h raised to 0, here h raised to 1 plus nc2 x raised to Again one more number subtracting from here, it becomes what? N minus 2. N minus 1 minus 2 becomes minus 1 becomes n minus 2 h square. वैसे ही so on nc3 x raised to n minus 3 h cube, like this. So on up to ncn, last end term, ncn, x becomes 0, x will be 0, x raised to 0 is 1, so we have not written h raised to n, h will come to n. See here x is going reverse from n to 0 and h is coming like this reverse, n to 0. I hope you are getting it. In this your x part, we have 1, 2, so on up to n, right? So right hand side your x is going reverse, like x raised to n, x raised to n minus 1. See, before this it is what? N minus 1, n minus 2, so on up to 1. So x is going like this, so on up to x raised to 0. And h, how it is going? H is going same way, h to 0, h raised to 1, h raised to 2, so on up to h raised to n. Before this were h raised to n minus 1, before this, like this. So in terms like this it is running. So binomial expansion of x plus h raised to n is this. Now here you see I have minus x raised to n. So for both this total we want the value. So what we will do, we can subtract x raised to n on both the sides, right? See, this is whole x plus h whole raised to n. Now what we will do, x plus h whole raised to n minus x raised to n. So this everything minus x raised to n. What it is? nc0 x raised to n plus nc1 x raised to n minus 1 h, so on up to ncn h raised to n you have. Now when you open up x raised to n, nc0 is what? Nothing but 1, right? nc0, ncn is nothing but 1. So nc0 1, x raised to n minus x raised to n. This and this cancels off. You are having nc1 x raised to n minus 1 h, nc2 x raised to n minus 2 h square, so on up to ncn h raised to n. So you have like this. Now as you can see here h is common up to here, so I can take h common. If I take h common, what I will be left with? nc1 is 1, so leave it this combinations. nc2 will be what? nc2 will be n into n minus 1 x raised to n h square, so on up to ncn is 1, again h raised to n, so on. So from this only we will take h common. So I will be left with here what? X raised to n minus 1, x raised to n minus 1 into n, right? nc1 is n, nc1 is n, plus again here n into n minus 1 you will get. So on up to h raised to n minus 1. You are left with h raised to n minus 1. How? See, in this h you have taken common, h n is there. Here you have h n, and from this if 1 you have taken common, see 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 get cancels and you will be having the same. So one term will be deducted when you are taking anything common. So x plus h n minus x raised to n. Here n into n minus 1 h you will get, plus n into n minus 1 n minus 2 you will h square, like this you will be getting, so on. So we just know what to get it, so I have written directly. So x plus h whole raised to n minus x raised to n we have got, that is h into x raised to n into x raised to n minus 1, so on up to h raised to n minus 1. We will put it in this. So therefore f dash of x is equal to limit x plus h whole raised to n minus x raised to n, we have got h of x raised to n minus 1 plus so on up to h raised to n minus 1 whole divided by h as your h tending to 0, right? As your h tending to 0, h1s are h get cancels and you are left with limit n x raised to n minus 1 plus so on up to h raised to n minus 1 as h tending to 0 f dash of x. Now putting your limit, substituting your h terms, h0, see except your first term rest all others up to h raised to n minus 1, you have h, right, except first term. From your second term up to last term you have h. So if you substitute 0 for your h, anything 0 raised to will be 0 only. So you will be just left with x n raised to n into x raised to n minus 1. Here also you will get 0 only, right. So this theorem is proved. So for that f dash of x is equal to n x raised to n minus 1, when your f of x is x raised to n. When f of x is equal to x raised to n, its derivative is what? N x raised to n minus 1. This is standard one. What you have done is standard formula. I hope I am clear for you. Please note it down properly. Next you have one more theorem. Just take down this theorem. No need of proof. Derivative of polynomials and trigonometric functions. What it is telling? That f of x is equal to a naught x raised to n plus a n minus 1 x raised to n minus 1 plus so on up to a1x plus a naught be a polynomial function where ai's are all real numbers and an is not equal to 0. Okay, and an is not equal to 0. This is an, okay. An x raised to n, an minus 1 x raised to n minus 1, an minus 2 x raised to n minus 2, like this. So on a naught, x raised to naught is what? 1 itself, right? Where your ai's, this ai's are all, they should be all real numbers and your an should not be equal to 0. If such polynomial function you have, then its derivative, how you will get an remaining as it is, x raised to n, just now we have done, right, derivative. Say x raised to n is what? N x raised to n minus 1. So derivative of x raised to n is what? N x raised to n minus 1. In the similar way for this also. This is your constant terms, so you are not applying derivatives for this. Only for your x functions you will be applying your derivatives. Okay. So your an remains as it is. X raised to n derivative just now we did how it is, n x raised to n minus 1. Same way here a n minus 1 remains as it is. Derivative of this will be what? How we are getting n x raised to n minus 1? Your standard one it is. So for x raised to n minus 1 will be n minus 1 x raised to n minus 1 is nothing but your x raised to n minus 2. In the same way a n minus 3 remains as it is. You will be having n minus 2 into x raised to n minus 2 minus 1, which is minus 3. Like this you will be getting the derivative till here. Okay, x square, here you will be having x square. X square is what? 2x raised to 2 minus 1, which is 1. So it will be a to 2x plus derivative of your x d by dx of x will be what? This also dx, this also dx, you will get 1 only. So it is a1. This is your derivative. If you have polynomial a n x raised to n, a n minus 1 x raised to n, its derivative is such: n a n x raised to n minus 1 plus n minus 1 a n minus 1 x raised to n minus 2 plus so on up to 2a to x a plus a1. Okay. So remember this. In the next class we will see with the problems. It will be clear for you. Okay. Thank you, students.